Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Some injury news, playoff picture, T.Y. Hilton, and Odell Beckham conversation as well. But I'm curious for a bit of a check-in here. How you guys feeling right now? What's your confidence level in the Dallas Cowboys? They've got 10 wins, and we're not even out of December. They've clinched a playoff spot, and yet it is not a 10 for pretty much every person out there. Maybe the Vikings game gave us unrealistic expectations. Coop saying he's a 6. Feels about right because they can make a run. We said that for a long time. I've seen this story before. So sound off for me. What's your confidence level, 1 to 10 scale, in the comment section. It's the Cowboys injury report. This has stayed the same on both Tuesday and Wednesday. Remember, Saturday games, so your work week gets pushed up one. Dorance Armstrong limited with a knee. Noah Brown foot limited. Jake Ferguson back on the field after they didn't have a practice today. It was kind of a gentle walkthrough more or less, but it was a more full practice today. He was back out there, so he's making his way through the concussion protocol. I feel good about Dorance Armstrong playing. Noah Brown should be fine. Jake Ferguson, I think, will be back this week. Jayron, Kearse, Tank Lawrence will be limited pretty much every Wednesday, Thursday, normally, of your injury report as they just battle those injuries, and it's just management at this point. You're not going to see Leighton Vander Esch out there this week. He is going to miss this game with a neck issue, much like how I fully expect Jalen Hurts, who also, by the way, did not practice today, to miss this game for Philadelphia, which changes significantly how we feel about this particular matchup. The big one, though, is Micah Parsons. Micah is sick, battling an undisclosed illness, and has missed the last 2 practices or in building days. Again, Tuesday wasn't really a practice at all. As he battles that illness, the Cowboys have said he's going to be fine, he's going to play, blah, 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 and I am inclined to believe them. And maybe it's flu game for Micah, which you need him out there on defense. He has still been your best player on this entire football team. 59 tackles, 13 sacks, 14 TFLs. The TFLs are down from last year. He had 20. The sacks are also at 13. That's been the same number. The pressure rate has dipped slightly from an unsustainable 22% to a profoundly elite 18%. That's still really, really good, by the way, for Micah Parsons. Among the league leaders in pressures, as continuing to draw all of the attention on the Cowboys defense. Need to get some of the other guys going again, though. Tank Lawrence has been an elite run defender, kind of slowed down as the entire defense has past few weeks, in part, I think, due to the foot injury. Armstrong's a bit nicked up. Sam was made some splash plays, but I can't recall the last time I said Dante Fowler's name on a broadcast in a positive sense. Defense has to get going, and that begins with the pass rush if you can get your opposing team into passing situations. Now, Micah's at 13 sacks right now. How many will he finish the season with? Get those predictions in for me in the comments section. It seems like Bosa will lead the way, Nick Bosa, and end up finishing first in sacks, but Micah could still catch him. Get those predictions in for me, especially if the ad break comes right now here on YouTube. Wouldn't be a Jerry Jones interview without him mentioning Odell Beckham, so we'll talk about it again here. Jerry continues to be asked about, also freely talk about Odell Beckham. A signing still feels unlikely right now. I think that kind of was made obvious when OBJ's like, I'm not going to work out for you. I'm a month away from playing. Like, okay, then at that point, what are we doing out here anymore? Here's what Jerry Jones said Tuesday morning, went up through the fan on Odell Beckham. As of this morning, we don't have anything. I don't have an assessment in terms of how close he is to signing. The reality is, though, that the time is moving down the road relative to playing the playoffs, and so every day diminishes our chances of going forward. Jerry's made the comments that he wants this. He wants it for this year. Now, Josina Anderson has said there's nothing imminent on either side, and Josina's a mouthpiece from the Odell Beckham camp, more or less, and talking about public negotiations. Jerry's wanted Odell Beckham. He's been the driving force on this. He thinks OBJ can be his next new Deion Sanders. But the time at this point is too limited. You've got 3 games, at this point 2, by the time you could potentially sign him again, because you're not going to sign him on Thursday, right? At least I would assume. Who knows? This has been a chaotic thing from the beginning, right? I agree with Tank Lawrence's thoughts from a while ago. If Odell Beckham can come in and help them win a championship, cool. Let's ride. Let's make it happen. If we're just doing it for the circus, I'm not interested. So until OBJ signs somewhere, Dallas will remain a potential destination. And that one, I think, honestly, if you made it to the Super Bowl, I could see Jerry still trying to make it happen the week before. That's where I think we're at. I also just don't think in the end that this is going to end up happening. Now, who here has had to try to cancel a subscription that you forgot about, and you don't know what your password is, so you got to hit the forget password, then it takes them 5 minutes to send it because they're not trying to actually let you get in and cancel it. It's a pain in the ass, right? Or if you maybe forgot to cancel the subscription when your free trial was over. That's why I love using Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. This app shows all your subscriptions in one place and cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you did not know you were paying for. Maybe even find out you've been double charged for a subscription. So to cancel one, all you have to do is press cancel. That is it. It's that simple. And Rocket Money takes care of the rest for you. Get rid of those useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Go to rocketmoney.com/cowboys. That's rocketmoney.com/cowboys. Links in the comment section and the description. Make sure you're not getting double charged and make sure your finances are in order as we wind down the year. On the opposite end of Odell Beckham is T.Y. Hilton, who did not play for the Cowboys against the Jacksonville Jags. The team has kind of hyped him up, as they so often do, maybe a little bit more than what they should be doing. That's okay. That's how teams and players do business, I suppose. I'm optimistic that we will see T.Y. Hilton out there this week for the Dallas Cowboys, especially with Michael Gallup not being quite 100%, and the team really missing the speed to stretch the safety, stretch the field, and since the Cowboys don't run drags, it really crowds the middle of the field more than it should. So will T.Y. Hilton play this week? P for play, B for he's once again on the bench. Get those predictions in for me in the comment section right now. I think the expectations for T.Y. should still be low. He says he has the speed, and I want to believe T.Y. Hilton. I got to see it first. At his age, injury history, I hope he's fresh and rested, but I'm not expecting 2018 T.Y. Hilton. Frankly, I don't think anybody should be expecting that. What I'd like to do is take some of those literally, like I think it's a half dozen so far this year, or maybe a dozen, James Washington snaps. Whatever you were giving to Tolbert when he was active, he's not going to be active again this week, by the way, folks. No surprise there. And get T.Y. involved a little bit here. Find some speed. You need to help make your passing game not full of contested catches. You got to find some ways to get some separation and help force the defense to be stretched a little bit more thin on over the middle as opposed to just clogging it right now. Hopefully T.Y. can help that. Prime T.Y., I know he could fix it, guaranteed. Current T.Y., we'll wait and see. And we will be live, of course, for the Cowboys-Eagles game. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We'll be live for the entirety of it. Hopefully, a Cowboys win. If not, I know it'll be Meltdown City. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Let's move now to some Cowboys playoff conversation because Dallas has clinched a playoff berth. And even after an incredibly frustrating overtime loss against Jacksonville, they are still alive for the NFC East. It's a very simple scenario. If the Cowboys win out and the Eagles lose out, Dallas will be your NFC East champions and thus avoid playing a team like the Bucs and would instead get potentially Philly or one of the other wild card teams instead. Now, the Cowboys could clinch that 5th seed this week if they win and the Giants lost. That would also still keep open the door for the number 1 seed, but that is the minimum 5 seed clinching scenario. Dallas could end the year on a 3-0 win streak, which would, I think, make all of us feel better. I could also see them going 1-2 in this time frame, couldn't you? Not the easiest schedule. Philadelphia, probably going to have Gardner Minshew, which does change this game, although Week 1 Minshew's a god somehow, or I should say first start of the year Minshew's a god. Week 17 Tennessee, they might not have Ryan Tannehill. They're kind of in free fall. Funnily enough, if you lose to Tennessee, that might help, or if you beat Tennessee, that might get Jacksonville in the postseason, which is kind of funny how that ends up working out. And then if you lose to Tennessee, they get in. So funny, right? And the Commanders, Week 18, who will probably still be fighting for that last wild card spot when you might not have anything to play for. The Eagles, meanwhile, in this lose-out scenario, get them off on the wrong foot, beat them on Saturday, Christmas Eve, but then they play the Saints and Giants. And the Saints are not a good football team, and Philly wants to win that one, especially because they had the Saints' first-round pick. We will all be cheering very hard especially producer Coop, for the Saints to win. That would be good for business, for at least our business, because we don't want Philly to have a very early pick there. The Giants, Week 18, might have clinched potentially. We'll wait and see. But, yeah, I don't see them losing out. Now, if they do lose out, the Cowboys still need more help to get the number 1 seed thanks to their loss against Jacksonville. They need the Vikings and the Niners to both lose a game. Niners win the tiebreaker as things sit right now, and the Vikings would have a better record. So you need both of those teams to lose a game. What worries me here is that the Cowboys will almost assuredly, I'm talking like 75% chance right now, they'll be the 5 seed, which is actually probably more like 80% chance. The likely outcome, and in fact it's all but assured now, is the NFC South winner will take on the Dallas Cowboys. And that's probably going to be Tom Brady and the Bucs. Now, technically, Carolina, New Orleans, and Atlanta are all alive. The team, though, with the best chance of winning the division is Carolina. They've already beaten Tampa one time head-to-head. Saints and Falcons can't say the exact same things in terms of tiebreakers. So Carolina's the best bet right now to catch Tampa. The issue is Tampa has a game lead. They play the Panthers in Week 17. Go fighting Sam Darnold's. They also play a Falcons team and a Cardinals team. All of those squads are not going to make the playoffs, most likely, barring a Carolina comeback here. Arizona's down to Trace McSorley. Panthers are playing their 3rd different starting QB. And Atlanta's made the move to Desmond Ridder already because they're out on the season. So I would like it if Tampa could not win the division, because I don't want to play Tom Brady in the playoffs. And wouldn't it be very, and this is our trauma speaking, wouldn't it be very on brand for Dallas to get the 5 seed, win 12 games, and then lose to a sub 500 Bucs team or a 9-8 Bucs team on the road in the playoffs? Yeah, I don't want to play Brady because it's just like Rodgers. There's that trauma there. You guys can vote Y for yes and for no. So with all that in mind, the final thoughts here, the rooting guide before we go, and we'll just end on this one. The Falcons over the Ravens to keep their chances of somebody other than Tampa winning that division. Same with the Panthers over the Detroit Lions. Giants or Vikings, yes, it would clinch the 5 seed, but in this scenario, you're going to be able to take care of business unless you just suck. So we're trying to keep that number 1 seed hopes alive. Now, if you lose, then it changes next week, but I digress. Commanders over the Niners, again, seeding impact there. Cardinals over the Bucs is the big one. Come on, Trace McSorley. And Saints over the Browns, again, keep those odds alive of someone other than Tampa winning the division. To put this in perspective, for all 6 of these things to happen, if you put $10 on it in a parlay for all 6 to come true, win it all or get nothing, you would win $7,500 and change. They're all big underdogs this week. Probably not going to happen. But the Cowboys can just take care of this by winning some damn football games, right? From now until February. We'll be here. Subscribe for free.